Descubriendo el mod de Corea con Sof'boy Han.
Hello.
So we are recording. Hello, Han, how are you?
Hi, I'm alright. How are you?
Hola, yo soy Vance, escribo y hablo sobre música coreana, especialmente sobre el K-indie, y este es mi canal K-indie Spotlight. So the idea is that we're gonna be doing this kind of an interview, but it's also more like a conversation. And the first thing I'm going to ask you is to please teach me how to pronounce the word that we're gonna be talking about today, which is Meot, I think.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
So it's pronounced mot,
Mot.
like kind of like M-O-T. Yeah, like mot.
Mot.
Yeah.
Okay. La palabra mod tiene un significado complejo y profundo y tiene mucha importancia en la cultura coreana. Abarca una amplia gama de significados que suelen estar relacionados con el atractivo estético, el encanto personal, refiere a cualidades que son especiales, que pueden hacer que alguien o algo destaque de manera elegante y auténtica. El concepto de mod puede incorporarse en varios aspectos del estilo de vida, enfatizando una combinación de expresión personal o estética y un sentido de autenticidad. En la música, podríamos pensar que el mod se expresa al crear obras profundamente personales y que resuenan emocionalmente con el público, combinando elementos tradicionales con técnicas contemporáneas. Mod representa una cualidad intangible que combina atractivo visual, encanto personal, profundidad cultural y un enfoque consciente de la vida. Se trata de encontrar y crear belleza, expresarse auténticamente y vivir con gracia y propósito. Para profundizar en el mod, invité a colaborar en este video al artista de R&B, hip hop, indie pop de Corea, Sof'boy Han, quien en una entrevista nos contó su opinión sobre el mod y la importancia que tiene este concepto en su vida y en su música. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Sof'boy Han, and I'm a singer-songwriter, I design, and do little bit of everything. And I make music based on hip hop, R&B, and rock, and whatever inspires me.
Great. So as you know, I'm a big fan of your music, and well, I just want to say this in the video a little bit that we met a year ago now, I think.
Yeah, it was actually nearly a year ago. Yeah, actually, yeah, it was maybe more. Yeah.
So that's
That's so-
crazy. But okay, let's start first with our word of the day. So what I would want you to do is that you can explain to me what mod means, but more in a personal way for you. I would like you to think about your perspective of the word, the meaning, and what it means in Korean culture in general.
So basically, mod, in the literal sense, it means coolness, but like not just like superficial coolness. It's one of those words that there's no like perfect translation, but it's probably gonna be like cool. For me personally, everything I did is started out with mod because of that, like because I want to be 멋있어, which means like to be like cool. And yeah, basically I started music and fashion and everything because of that. So when I was a kid, I was impressed by like those people who, for me, they had mod. For example, G Dragon. So everyone knows about him. So he has that mod. So I was like so impressed by him, and I started music because of that. And in a way, even like at that time, it was more like kind of I was like a teenager, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to be more 멋있어, even for the girls and like for my friends. And now it's more like, oh, I want to be someone who can impress someone else. So I want to be like a 멋있는 사람, a 멋있는 person. Basically, I do everything because of mod, in a way. It's my main, like, I guess it's one of the main pushing factors, pushing my inspiration. More inspiration is more like, yeah, like the thing that pushes me to do anything is for the sake of mod, but like not in a superficial way, but like in all the way that I told you about, like
Yeah.
right now.
So when I was reading about mod, I honestly just immediately think about you. And I remember how you told me in our first interview your inspiration for G Dragon. And I totally agree that
yeah.
he definitely has that. He's like an icon.
Yeah.
But then I started like looking at it in a maybe more like detailed way of the concept of mod, and I understand that it's more like a way of living, being very authentic and like
Yeah,
express
yeah.
it in very different ways. And so yeah, I really believe that your music has a lot of that. Sof'boy Han es un solista de 24 años quien no solo se dedica a la música, sino que también es diseñador de modas y artista plástico. Es un artista multidisciplinario y su conocimiento y pasión por estas distintas disciplinas artísticas contribuyen a que su proyecto musical sea tan completo y único. Además, en la obra de Sof'boy Han vamos a encontrar una mezcla de culturas, pues él nació y creció en Italia, pero sus padres son coreanos, por lo que él siempre se sintió muy cercano a la cultura coreana y ha vivido en Corea en distintas ocasiones. Pero también vivió en Londres, que fue donde estudió diseño de modas, así que es una persona que ha crecido influenciado por distintas culturas e idiomas. Por eso encontramos en sus canciones letras en coreano, en inglés y hasta en italiano. Yo lo conocí a Sof'boy Han hace un poco más de un año, descubrí su música y me enamoré inmediatamente y sigo enamorada hasta el día de hoy. Así que esta entrevista fue nuestro segundo encuentro y aproveché para que nos contara sobre sus últimos lanzamientos, pues su carrera, aunque no es muy larga, y él tan solo tiene 24 años, así que es muy joven, tiene un repertorio de canciones extenso y maravilloso. Let's dive into your music then. I want you to share with me your experiences with all these releases that you have done, of course, including your latest one, which is, we know it's a collaboration, so I want to know about that too.
I released songs that were newer and that I wrote in that time, in that moment of life, and I released them like a month or 2 months later. So it was very like honest. They were very honest. Doing this, it was new. It was strange for me because like, of course, some of the songs, I really like all the songs in terms of like stories and lyrically and everything. But like, I felt like, oh, because usually when before releasing a song, I take so much time and it's like, I overthink and overthink. But like by doing this, I could like actually, it felt like I was doing a diary of like my life, I guess. And I learned so many things. It was like some of the songs I don't like now, like, but at the same time, some people like them, and I was very surprised. Like some of the songs I didn't expect like people to like them
Like what?
because they were so
Like which one?
personal. There's a song called "Shoot a Memory"
Okay.
from I think I released in like New Year's or something. It was a double single. One was with Ado Now,
Okay.
the and the other was by myself, which was "Shoot a Memory." But yeah, like because I really liked the song, but I didn't have that much money in that for that project, so I couldn't like promote. So I was like, kind of okay, I have to release it, but kind of sad. But with some of the people around me, like some friends sent me screenshots of that song where they were listening to it and was like, really, oh. I think I learned so many things, and I learned about not just as an artist, but like even thinking about more responsibly of how to like divide my budget. But at the same time, I'm kind of not disappointed, but like I could have done more. But I was like so busy with my main job, which was like fashion designer, because yeah, I literally didn't have that much time. So I'm hoping that from now on I will be more consistent. But I'm definitely gonna learn so much by doing that. Like just being more honest, I learned that I really like being honest. Of
I
course,
can
but,
totally
like,
see that.
and it was like more because before that it was like I was making songs that then I was thinking, okay, will the audience like it? But of course I'll put my stories into it, but like will the people like it or not? And but like for last year I was like doing more like honest. And people actually felt the honesty, some people. So I appreciated that. So and I realized I want to because I started music by doing my thing and not like thinking about the audience. So going back to like my roots, it was very fun to do that.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was going back to when I started music.
I love that. That's beautiful. And I get that. And as an artist, you can easily lost of that initial idea because life happens, you know?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of compromises and money, reality and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's natural to think about your audience, you know. And I think it's okay to think about it, but it's
Yeah,
important
yeah,
that
of course. Yeah.
you like understand how much are you thinking about that and how much is reflecting that in your work. I totally agree that your songs are every time more honest. You can feel that.
Even when we had fights late nights, we would make up tomorrow. And I'd be like, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to our next question. I want to know, how do you make decisions regarding your styling, fashion, art, and all the elements that are important to your artistic project in general?
I'm still like, I don't think it's something that I know a way of doing it. It's more like I got used to doing it. So I'm like, now I found my own way of like finding it again every time. And I felt like it was by talking to a lot of other artists, I felt it was the same. But like for me, I tried to be as genuine and as myself as possible. So like, and I tried to be as self-conscious as possible. So I try to look at myself from like how someone else would look at me. So if we go back to like the thing of mod, what would people from the outside look at me and think oh, he has mod in that part or not? So I try to look at it that way, and I try to boost those things, and so that it keeps me still genuine. But of course, I have to be a bit more, so it shows a bit more. But I try to be as genuine as possible, as myself as possible, and as self-critical as possible. And I think the main keyword is being natural and try to be effortless. Even if in some ways it doesn't work sometimes, I still think it's part of me, and it's not gonna be perfect every time. So being natural and try to be effortless. I did a photo shoot thing. During that, I realized how important it is to get like feedback from actual like people in the field, some like stylists or makeup artists and people like that, who are telling me, "Oh, you actually look good in this clothes or that clothes." And if we talk about that part, so I learned a lot about like just communicating with people and talking with people, even just with your friends. I think communication, natural, spontaneous, just being yourself,
Yeah.
because you're gonna change every time, but like, try to stay as yourself as possible.
I totally understand that. And I also can see it. Now I'm curious about thinking about an artistic project. There's so many things going on, right? That I already said. I mean, is there anything specific that you are usually have in mind in order to make all these different decisions between each other and make them be part of a whole universe, you know?
So I usually start with everything starts here and in the studio. Like it starts with a song, with that one song that I really like that comes out. An independent artist is like, oh, how should I promote this? What photos should I take? But of course, the main thing is the music, get it as perfect as possible. Then now I care more about like the album cover too, and which my close friend Rex, he most of the times he does them. And so I got those two things figured out basically more or less every
Yeah.
time, thankfully. Then what I think about is like how I should now I have to make videos like for TikTok or like reels. And so for that, usually I know I don't have good equipment. I just have a phone and stuff. So if I have a friend who has a camera, then we go out together and we hang out and we take like videos for each other. If not, I just use this and go out. Usually at night because there's so many people, so I just like to stay by myself. So yeah, just go out with this and take some videos and I don't, and I try to keep them as simple as possible because I know it's not good equipment, it's not professional equipment, so it's not gonna look professional like I want it. So the best thing to do is to look at as much as me as possible, like I said before. So even if it's like low quality, it looks like it's on purpose, or like it looks like, oh, he wanted to do that. So that's how I get through most of the main parts. For photo shoots, I don't do them often. And if I do them, they're like more like not photo shoots, but like, I don't know, I call, when I was in Korea, I would call Shoei and he was like, oh, I need a photo. And he was like, oh yeah, I need something too. So we would just hang out and take photos. Yeah, but like, I think music album cover and posting, thinking of what to post and what kind of content I can make are the main things I do. And I think they will come kind of naturally together. If the song has this concept and the album cover is this kind of visual, then I try to like kind of make it coherent. I guess I try to just keep it simple now at this point.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And I also like that you think about those things in that way, you have less chance to lose yourself. Like what is myself? Like, that those things you were saying, because you're
Yeah,
always
yeah,
like
true. Yeah.
just being.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like being, yeah.
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 And yeah,
Mm.
I think that those are those details that makes you as a fan or as a listener, like stay also connected with the artist. And I mean, we see you and we can think, oh yeah, that's Han, like it's not some
Mm.
product
Oh,
from
yeah.
a big industry. It's Han and it's great as it is. So Mott, I guess you can be Mott with the industry too, because yeah, G-Dragon make it, so he had a big
Yeah,
industry.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Different kinds of Mott, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Equally wonderful.
Feels like I left my heart at your place where I called home. Messed up laundry.
Okay, I'm gonna jump to our next question. I'm just gonna read this that I had. Based on my research, I already said this, but I'm gonna say it again. Based on my research, the word mod holds a multifaceted significance in Korean culture, encapsulating the essence of style, charisma, and aesthetic appeal. It emphasizes authenticity and the beauty found in small details. So I believe that your music and style resonate with this concept. Your songwriting is consistently honest, well, as we said, warm, and elegant, offering a unique perspective on the human experience and everyday emotions. That's, I think it's very, very important. Also, very valuable, like the human experience and
Mm.
the everyday emotions. Is it something that you want to evoke in your listeners and fans? And also, what do you believe that sets you apart and makes you authentic?
So first of all, thank you for that, because yeah, those were the things I wanted to evoke. And more than like I wanted to evoke, it's more like I'm glad that people felt that way, because I don't know if I can. I try to be, like I said, self-conscious, but I don't know what kind of mod or what kind of like vibe I would give to the people. But I'm very glad that you told me about that, because those were like basically all the main things that I hoped to spread, I guess.
I love that.
And if people can feel honesty and people can relate to that and feel that, oh, he has mod because of that, then I'm done. Basically, I'm like happy. That's the happiest level I can get. Best feedback I could get. Going back to like the definition of mod, I think when I say, like, when me or other friends say that someone has is 멋있어, it's more about like they look that they have their own, like, how do you say, like, disciplines and their own principles, and they live that way and in their own unique way. I hope to achieve that uniqueness, I guess. Like you said before, like once many people start to say, oh, that's Han, oh, that's Han, then that would be the main goal, basically.
Definitely, when I learned about mod, I thought about Han, so there's something there because that's what I thought. But how can I explain it? And that's what makes me think, like, okay,
Mm,
if we are looking for uniqueness, authenticity, honesty, elegance, because this kind of
mm,
elegance, like not an elegance of, okay, I'm gonna wear a tuxedo, but elegance in
yeah,
how you express yourself. And I think your lyrics are beautiful too. And for example, that song,
love through space and time.
Love to
Yeah,
Space, and that song has
slowly.
such a beautiful lyric because it's so simple but so poetic at the same time. So I think,
Mm,
yeah, that is elegance too, right? That is
yeah, yeah.
uniqueness because it's your perspective. It's very honest, so that
Hmm.
can't be compared to anyone else.
Yeah. I try to, yeah, like, even when I write lyrics, I try to, but first of all, I try to not think of any other feedback while I'm writing them. And then when I actually have done them, I think about if it could be, if I could make some things even simpler, but like more effective. Simple, unique, but like hopefully relatable.
Yeah.
But like but sometimes I don't want relatableness. So sometimes the lyrics might be very like abstract. But if people get it, then I'm like, oh, you can interpret it in the way you want, and it can become part of your experience, and that's perfect. That's what music or art should do.
Definitely. And that's beautiful what you said. Sometimes you're not looking to be relatable, but you might end up being it anyway.
it depends. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But it's crazy how when you write something so personal and you give it to someone else, that person is gonna naturally have their own perspective of what they're reading because they don't know the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
story. So they just know what you're giving it to them. So end up
yeah,
being
exactly.
relatable
Yeah.
anyway. That's also the power
Yeah,
of music and songwriting. And in the
yeah,
case
that's
of Korean music, for us foreigners, it's crazy how you can feel those things even when you don't understand. Because,
yeah,
like you
true.
said, everything starts with the sun, but that's just like a big universe that starts to open.
예민해진 네 말투 어색해진 말다툼 불안했던 싸움이 터지고 말았어 방심했던 사이
I want to know about your future plans. Everything. I want to know everything.
So my future, no, okay. So I have a lot of songs done.
I wouldn't expect less than that. You have always been like this.
I always had a lot of songs, but now I have a lot of songs done. And what I want to make different from last year is more. Of course, all these songs are not gonna be released. I'm gonna choose from last year. I released basically all of them, but now I'm trying to be more objective. And if I release something, it's gonna be only the best thing. I want to like actually, if you think about the money part, actually put effort in all of the releases. I try to be consistent. But for each release, I want to take care for every single aspect that I can and that I am capable of doing too. And I'm actually getting ready for a release for next month. If I talk about a bit of the backstory of how I made it, it came very spontaneous. It was a very fast thing. The lyrics came by so fast, the melody so fast. And usually when I record, I usually take a full days of 1 week to record. But this one, I just took the first day of recording. I was like, okay, this is fine.
Wow.
And because it was very raw and I like that raw energy, but like at the same time, very like sweet.
Oh, okay. Good combination.
I think many people, hopefully, but I personally think many people will like it. So I'm very excited to release this song. I just got actually the final mix today
Oh, that's
and for the
great.
final master. And it's the first time I didn't engineer my own song because
Oh, that's right.
I usually mix and master everything by
Yeah.
myself. And today I got the final master and now I need the artwork that I will get hopefully by tomorrow. And everything is getting ready slowly. And
Well, you excited with that?
excited and stressed and I have to do a lot of things this week and next week.
Yeah, always too many things to do.
Always so many things.
Incluir el mod en tu vida significa apreciar los pequeños y hermosos momentos de la vida. Se trata de encontrar alegría en el presente y cultivar un enfoque consciente en las actividades diarias. Hay una cierta simplicidad asociada con mod, pero que se mezcla con la idea de mantenerse honesto y único. Sof'boy Han es un artista que expresa en sus letras autenticidad y belleza en los detalles pequeños de lo cotidiano. Expresa su mirada personal de una forma elegante y honesta, logrando conectar emocionalmente con sus oyentes. La mezcla de géneros encontrados en su estilo son tratados con gusto y atención a los detalles, y lo más importante es que es fiel a lo que él como artista ama y busca lograr. Además, encontramos muchas colaboraciones con otros artistas que congenian con Sof'boy Han, pero que le agregan su propio color, logrando cohesión y enriquecimiento en sus canciones. Como la mayoría de los artistas de K-Indie, Sof'boy Han se enfrenta a la difícil tarea de crear, producir y promocionar su proyecto de música de forma independiente. Sin embargo, podemos ver en su carrera cómo él se preocupa por atender a todos los detalles, desde la composición hasta los artes de tapa, hasta los videos de promoción y su estética y estilo. Por eso, y todas las cosas que ya lo escuchamos decir en el video, Sof'boy Han es una demostración de lo que puede significar el mod de Corea. Muchas gracias por llegar hasta acá, yo soy Vance y esto fue K-Indie Spotlight para la tercera misión de K-Influencer Academy 2024. Si disfrutaste este video, por favor no olvides suscribirte a mi canal, darle me gusta y hasta dejar un comentario con tu opinión. Además, me puedes seguir en mis redes, que están todas mencionadas en la descripción del video, para conseguir mucho más contenido como este. Gracias y nos vemos en la próxima. ¡Chao!